and welcome to Supernatural Spirit Magic School, part of the Tim Tony Stark network of websites and videos about the Unified Magic System. So this is the YouTube channel about the supernatural spirit, and magic. And what we're going to do today is discuss vampires in human cultures and address the concerns about vampires with our new service called the Protection from Vampires Service. This service does exactly what it says and has been requested by the Supernatural Spirit Magic School customers. And Jelly Annie has also discussed this with Tim Tony Stark Rifat, and a new service was born. If you'd like to find out more about this service, go to supernaturalspirit.org. You'll find a link in the description below. Now, for those who enjoy a bit more background, stay tuned. So this channel discusses supernatural and supernatural magic, magical protocols, and is a gateway to products which enable us to use Tim Tony Stark Rifat's magic safely based on the 30 plus videos he's done on the Unified Magic System during the summer of 2019. There you go. Nice beat. He's over there now. This is the only magical system safe from booby traps, enabling humans to enjoy access to the pure magic within them and to link up to the source and their holy guardian angel. Our Magic Kit customers and Psylord customers enjoy their products. As they use their products, their awareness increases, some of whom have raised concerns about vampires and vampirism, hence this video. So these concerns arise because 98% of the human population are not psychopaths and are generally good-natured souls. It is the way of the vast majority that humans are orientated. But the vampires, they fall into the remaining 2% category of those who look after number one, the super ambitious, high achieving mindset who enjoy consuming bioplasm and soul fluid, which defines the nature of a vampire. Now, vampires and vampirism is nothing new. Vampire stories have been a part of human culture throughout the ages, both male vampires and female vampires. So, vampire warlocks and vampire witches. These are the campfire stories that have kept people awake at night for millennia, creating the mystique around the vampires as beings which are both feared and revered, mostly simultaneously. In today's world, the modern day campfire stories take place on the silver screen, using the medium of film and television for the masses. The most infamous cinematic vampire is arguably Count Dracula, being the subject of countless films. So instead of discussing that which has happened in the distant past, let's use cinema as a reference point for our discussions here today. So the list of vampire films is long and has been the subject of film almost since film has been invented. Dracula was made in 1958 and was played by Christopher Lee, who later in life Christopher Lee played Count Dooku in the Star Wars film and Saruman in Lord of the Rings. In other vampire films, you have Blade, played by Wesley Snipes. In the Underworld series, Kate Beckinsale played Celine. And in Interview with the Vampire, Tom Cruise played Lestat de Lioncourt, and Brad Pitt played Louis de Pont-du-Lac. So these actors also big in the vampire culture. And let us not forget, Dusk Till Dawn, Salma Hayek, who played Santonico Pandemonium. That's a great name. Now let us look at a more recent vampire film, where the box office revenue illustrates the fascination that the public have with vampires. So in the Twilight films, Edward was played by Robert Pattinson, who is now the new Batman. So vampires and bats are clearly synonymous with one another in vampire lore, and Robert should have no problem bulking up as Batman, as Hollywood has that process down of putting on muscle. Look at Chris Pratt. He got a lot of muscle for some of his recent films, where he spent all day in the gym and ate a lot of chicken and broccoli, which is apparently what you need to do. But imagine what Hollywood actors and actresses could do with anti-aging psychotronic generators, but that's another story. So, return to our Twilight film. We also have the human turned vampire, which is Bella Swan, played by Kristen Stewart, who will now play one of the Charlie's Angels, called Sabina Wilson. And here we note that the original angel's name from 1976 was called Sabrina Duncan. So Sabina and Sabrina are very similar names, and of course linked with Sabrina the Teenage Witch and the Netflix series The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So there you have it. And a little bit off script, you also have Vampirella. They made a movie, I think it was 96 they made a movie. Unfortunately, a bit low budget, but the actress Sota did a great job. She did a great job of getting what needs to get done, given the circumstances that the film was filmed in. It could be a good remake, that one. But, time will tell. So, now in Hollywood, like most industries, money is used as a key measurement of success. So, let's look into this, the subject of film and money. The highest earning film franchise is currently the Marvel franchise, which holds the record for the highest box office earnings at over $22 billion, according to thenumbers.com. That covers 23 films over 11 years, where Iron Man, Tony Stark, Iron Man, the film, Tim Tony Stark, launched the franchise in 2008. And now we're at 2019, where the latest film was the Spider-Man film. Of course, many more Marvel films are in the pipeline. And if we look at Twilight now, Twilight earned over $3 billion from 5 films between the years of 2008 to 2012. Now that's significant revenue for just 4 years, and the Twilight movies only have a few main characters, whereas in the Marvel Universe you have many characters, some of which, like Iron Man and Thor and Captain America, had personalized films, and then you had and Spider-Man has several of them. But then, they have dozens and dozens of characters. But in a vampire film, you typically have a small set of characters that carry that storyline through and through. So if someone run the numbers in Hollywood, and I expect they probably have run the numbers, they would know that vampire characters in vampire movies generate significant revenue, but also the revenue per character is probably pretty high as well. And in fact, even the children's market, you look at the 3 animated movies about vampires called Hotel Transylvania, they generated over $1.3 billion in a 5-year period. So one can note also that in general, actors and actresses who have played vampires typically have successful careers after playing their vampire role. So, not bad. So we see that vampires are both feared and beloved in our culture. To finish this segment about vampires in entertainment, let us look at Count Von Count, who is the mysterious but friendly vampire-like Muppet on Sesame Street. Count Von Count teaches the children their numerical skills, so it's logical to assume that Count Von Count is a scientific vampire who operates in Universe B, so part of the Dark Brotherhood. How interesting is that? Now let us return to Tim Tony Stark Rifat. Tim Tony Stark Rifat has complete spectrum dominance over vampire technology, having cleared the field of all vampirical competition. This was a time-consuming activity, as Tim Tony Stark Rifat cleared the path through the multiversal cosmic jungle and destroyed the Elohim, which was necessary to enable the evolution of the human species to embrace magic safely with the unified magic system. Good-natured, moral people make up 98% of the population, and that corresponds with magic users as well. The vast majority of magicians are light workers, good witches, and good sorcerers. And we saw the report in the Sun newspaper where we read about the very good article which was entitled "The Witches of EastChurch" about the English Coven. So I'll put a link into that video description below. Now, awareness guides you on your magical path, and magic puts you on the road to discovery. The more magic you do, the more your awareness opens, the more you can see. Just because you didn't know something existed doesn't mean it has not been there right before your eyes the entire time. It's all about awareness, and awareness builds as your energy levels build from conducting magic. And evolved awareness realizes, yes, those vampires are real. Increased awareness does not necessarily modify your moral fiber, but awareness would inform you that vampirism is a thing, and while not for you, is worth being protected from, because yes, vampires are real. This is where the protection from vampire service becomes so useful, as you are able to join the vampire community and keep your moral and ethical soul where you are not a vampire, but are protected and exempt yourself from vampires feeding on you. If you ask yourself, what are the vampires feeding off of? It's your bioplasm and soul fluid. So this is a protection service from vampires who are psychopaths and who have never heard of morals and ethics, but simply do not feed off their own. So this service maintains your moral and ethical fortitude and protects you from feeding vampires. You are not a vampirical being, as you are not feeding off of anything or anyone. Therefore, you maintain your moral and ethical code of contact intact, which is perfect. Exactly what our customers have been asking for. So be safe, be happy with the Vampire Protection Service, where you embrace the wonders of the new epoch of magic, finding your holy guardian angel, the true source you within, without running the risk of being fed on by hungry multiversal apex predators, which are the vampire warlocks and vampire witches. So for more information about this, click the link in the description below. And if you haven't already subscribed to the Supernatural Spirit Magic School, please do so. So I hope you enjoyed that, learned a bit more about the evolution of our products and services, learned more about the world of magic, and we'll continue the series of Supernatural Spirit Magic School in our next video. I'm St. Nicholas, and bye for now. And you've been watching supernaturalspirit.org, the home of the Supernatural Spirit Magic Kit, and the location to learn everything you need to know about magic, all constructed by the ipsissimist Tim Tony Stark Rifat. Learn magic, learn power, learn total freedom with Tim Tony Stark Rifat and his supernatural.org Magic School System. Bye for now.